Hello, in this video I shall be discussing 5 topics. The first topic is Thai Mangur. Thai Mangur is the name of a catfish. This is an air-breathing catfish. As the name says, this is endemic to Thailand. This is a freshwater catfish and Thai Mangur is also called as walking catfish. This is specially seen in Southeast Asia and in India this is banned. Since 2000, the National Green Tribunal NGT has banned the Thai Mangur dish and also its presence in India because it is damaging to the local ecosystems and also it is harmful for human consumption. So it is seen as being harmful as food. The National Green Tribunal has banned Thai Mangur in India. But it is recently in news because it is being illegally bred by some traders in Maharashtra in artificial ponds. So 120 of such artificial ponds are retrieved. So now it is illegally being bred in India. So this came into light recently. So Thai Mangur again made news in this way. The next topic is Marcos. The full form of Marcos is Marine Commandos. In short, it is called Marcos. And Marine Commandos altogether they make up a force called Marine Commandos Force or MCF of India. So this is a special unit under Indian Navy and it is constituted since 1987. And these special Indian Navy unit or Marine Commandos are given special operations wherever there is need. And presently under this particular special operation they are sent to East Ladakh. So in East Ladakh we very much know that Chinese military are present there. So Chinese military standoff is over there in Eastern Ladakh. So as part of that operation these Marine Commandos are sent to work alongside Indian Army. So now with Indian Army even Marine Commandos are present in Eastern Ladakh in order to counter Chinese standoff. And there is a lake in Eastern Ladakh called Pangong Tso Lake. And in this lake, as these Marine Commandos are belonging to Navy, they are going to hold boat missions. So with some boats, they are going to do some operation over there against Chinese standoff. So this is about Marcos. The next topic is Duare Sarkar. So the full form or the meaning of Duare Sarkar is government at doorstep. So this is the initiative of West Bengal government. And this is an outreach program. So the government at doorstep is going to going out to reach to people. So this is the basic meaning of Duare Sarkar, an exemplary take-up by West Bengal government. In this, the nodal agencies that are going to work are local bodies. So this is going to have its play with local body levels. So they are going to conduct campaigns to all over West Bengal. For example, in cities, these campaigns are held by corporations and in villages, these are held by Gram Panchayats. For example, MGNREGS or Siksha Shri or Kardya Sati, all of these are government programs in West Bengal. So they will be taken to the doorstep of these Bengal people and whoever in the family is fit to have any of these particular government programs, whoever is fit to be a beneficiary of these programs, they will be identified and given a chance to enter these programs even at their doorstep. So this is an exemplary thing by West Bengal government called Duare Sarkar. The next topic is Hornbill. Hornbill is the name of a festival. It is a festival in Nagaland. This is being celebrated now presently from 1st to 10th December every year. This is also called as Festival of Festivals. This is to showcase Naga ethnicity. So the original people of Nagaland are Nagas. So the tribal ethnicity of Nagas is going to be showcased in this particular Hornbill festival. There are folk dances, traditional music, local cuisines and handicraft, art workshop and all such things will be done in this Hornbill festival. Now in 2020, the 21st edition of it is launched. And as we are having COVID-19 this year, this is going to be digital celebration this year. So as December 1st is the Nagaland Statehood Day, this Hornbill is celebrated every year. The celebrations start from December 1st based on this Nagaland Statehood Day. So this is about Hornbill. It's the name of a festival. The last topic for today is Yarlung Zangbo. Yarlung Zangbo is the name of a river in Tibet. So what we call as Brahmaputra river in India, it's called Yarlung Zangbo in Tibet. Specifically speaking, this is in Tibetan Autonomous Region. So China has got an autonomous region called Tibet. It has got its own provincial autonomy, and this particular Yarlung Zangbo belongs to this region. It is near to line of actual control in Tibet. So this is the location of this river, how this river passes. And now recently China is constructing a dam over Yarlung Zangbo river. So this is the first downstream dam by China. Generally dams are constructed upstream for upstream flows. Now this is the first one to be constructed for a downstream flow by China. And this Yarlung Zangbo is also the longest river that passes through Tibet. And the purpose of this particular dam is for hydropower generation. So the hydropower generation is going to be 3 times more than that produced by Three Gorges Dam. Three Gorges Dam is also in China, in the central part of China, and this is known to have the highest installed capacity for hydropower generation in the world. And now this particular dam on Yarlung Zangbo is going to be even more than this capacity. So this is a very huge construction by China. And in India, India's view or the significance to India is that this is going to challenge the Northeast India's water security. So this Yarlung Zangbo flows into Northeast India. So Northeast India's water security is going to be made less. Water flow is going to be made less, as this is going to be constructed on downstream. The water cannot freely now enter into Northeast India. So in this point of view, this is not welcoming to Northeast India's water security in this point of view. So these are all the 5 topics for today, and thank you.